Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Newsroom. I'm your host Umar Khalid. But today is 15th of September 2025. These are the stories that we will be highlighting during the course of the show. We'll begin with the emergency Arab Islamic Summit that is taking place in Doha as we speak. And of course, our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif Sahab is also in Doha to discuss the latest developments emanating post Israel's attack on Doha. Now, different countries, especially Muslim countries from across the world, have gotten together in Doha to discuss the modalities of where to go and how to move forward after this blatant attack by Israel on Qatar. This will be our leading story. Our second story, ladies and gentlemen, concerns President Asif Ali Zardari's visit to China, the importance of it under the current geopolitical and geostrategic circumstances, and of course the important relations that continue to strengthen between the People's Republic of China and the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. This is going to be our second story. Our third story, ladies and gentlemen, concerns India and its polarizing attitude as far as sports is concerned. India has tried to destabilize Pakistan one way or the other, but here it also now has started to put politics into sports. What happened yesterday in the match of the Asia Cup between India and Pakistan is just an example of how India is blatantly politicizing sports, including cricket. Whereas Pakistan has always wanted to have normal sporting ties, India has wanted exactly the opposite. And of course, the whole scenario that was built around that also is a testament to the whole mentality that the Indian government is currently embroiled itself in. This is going to be our third story. Our fourth story concerns the International Day of Democracy that is being observed across the world, including in Pakistan. The theme this year is Democracy Under Strain, Solutions for a Changing World. Finally, we're going to talk about the Emmy Awards 2025 that were held in the US last night, where Owen Cooper, who's 15 years of age, became the youngest ever Emmy winner from his breakthrough role in the series Adolescence. And of course, there were many other winners as well, and we'll be highlighting that in our last story. Let's begin with our first, and that concerns the emergency Arab Islamic Summit that is happening in Doha. Very important under the current circumstances where Israel blatantly attacked Doha, and the fact remains that it's not just about Doha, it's about how the Muslim countries are being targeted one after the other in the Middle East by Israel. To discuss that in detail, we've been joined by two guests. Let me introduce them to you one by one. In the studios, we've been joined by Zamir Ahmed Awan Sahab, foreign affairs expert. Thank you very much, Zamir Sahab, to have joined us. And online, we've been joined by Shahid Masroor Gul Kiani Sahab, who's a former ambassador. Kiani Sahab, if you're listening to us, thank you very much to have joined us. We'll begin with you, Zamir Ahmed Awan Sahab. How significant do you feel is this emergency Arab Summit, Arab Islamic Summit that is taking place in Doha, and of course our Prime Minister is there as well?
As a matter of fact, Muslims are suffering all around the world, not only in Gaza, but all over the other countries. They are the victims of the many other states. And this is the opportunity for the Muslim world. I think that Israel has surpassed the threshold of the Muslim world. Now it is time for the Muslim world to unite, to think together, act smartly, and remove all of the differences and act as one body. That is the concept of Ummah. This summit in Doha is very important. I believe that the Muslim leaders will come to some conclusion and concrete measures, and I think there is a backing of the whole Muslim world, not only the Muslim world. I believe that all the people who love peace, who love the human being, or they are anybody who has any sympathies for the human lives, they are supporting this summit. I was in Europe for more than 2 months, and I have seen on the ground the public opinion is completely different. The public is pro-Palestine. They have sympathies with Palestine. They condemn Israeli barbarism and Israeli aggression, especially in some of the developed countries, the old democracies. Like in Belgium, I was there, and I have seen the protest. The public has protested and has not allowed the Israeli ship to come to the port, and under the pressure, the public pressure, people's pressure, the Belgium government has not allowed them. The same has happened in Italy, and also in Netherlands. There was protest almost every weekend, and their foreign minister has resigned that if we cannot, the politician cannot stop the genocide in any part of the world, we don't deserve to sit in the parliament. The same is happening in most of the European capitals, and even that in the UK, 122 parliamentarian has asked the Prime Minister to move because they cannot accept the Israeli aggression and the genocide and the war crimes happening like this. I mean, in the whole world, you can see the people understand the Israel is aggressor and Israel is committing the genocide and the war crimes, and there should be end to this one.
Qatar has said, Zamir Saab, and it has called to reject the double standards. And of course, this highlights an urgent need for consistent international accountability regarding Israeli aggression. But when it comes to this accountability, what kind of mechanism should be employed in your point of view?
Definitely, there is a United Nations which has a very comprehensive charter. Everything should be dealt under the United Nations Charter. For example, United Nations has a mechanism, proper mechanism how to resolve the disputes. In case of war, there are rules and regulations. There is Geneva Convention. They cannot kill the innocent children. They cannot kill the infants. They cannot kill the civilian. They cannot kill the elderly people. I mean, there is rules and regulation, and there is a United Nations. It is their mandate to implement their charter. If any country is not implementing their charter, United Nations is supposed to act. United Nations has the peacekeeping force. They have several other organizations like International Court of Justice, ICC, and all the mechanisms and all the organizations are available there.
But you know, the fact remains, Zamir Saab, that in the past the ICC and the ICJ have given rulings against Israel. But what happened? Israel has completely negated all the rulings that have been given, and it says that these rulings are not applied or not applicable as far as Israel is concerned. What will happen this time as well if we again go to the ICC or the ICJ?
You know what happened in the General Assembly voting? Out of 193 countries, only 10 was on the side of Israel. The whole world, you can say, vast majority, absolute majority, or you can say absolute majority is against Israel. I mean, this is the time for United Nations. It is test for the United Nations, whether they exist or not, whether they are implementing their mandate or not. It is test for them also.
All right. The Qatari Prime Minister also says that Benjamin Netanyahu needs to be brought to justice for state terrorism, quote unquote. What and how will Benjamin Netanyahu, in your point of view, if we put aside the ICC and the ICJ for a minute, how can Benjamin Netanyahu be brought to justice in your point of view within the context of the Western mentality?
You know, as per the Western mentality or United Nations Charter, there is a mechanism. In the past, they have tried some of the war criminals in other countries, and they have punished them. They have implemented these decisions of the International Court of Justice and ICC, and they have implemented. It is time for the United Nations to implement the same standard with the Netanyahu. If he want to escape and he want to default, there are mechanisms how to force it.
You know, Netanyahu also says, Zamir Saab, that there is going to be no Palestinian state. He has said it very recently. If the Israeli intentions are very clear as to the establishment or not of a Palestinian state, and we all know that the United Nations General Assembly is going to also get together, and many of the countries that had previously not accepted Palestine as a state are going to do that, including France and many others. Will that have any impact on Israel and its devilish designs and its genocide within Palestine and extending to now other places such as Doha?
You know, Israel has surpassed the threshold. Now it is time for the whole world to act and stop Netanyahu. I mean, it is the time now. And he will be stopped. I mean, he cannot go beyond that limit. He have to surrender. You know what happened in the World War II? Hitler, he was out of control, But definitely there was an end to everything.
There is an end to everything, Zamir Sahab, that is true. But when you look at Israel's attacks on Gaza, on Lebanon, on Syria, on Tunisia, Qatar and Yemen, it's not just one country, it's so many countries. When you look at that, what could be the response of the international community this time around, whether it be through the Emergency Arab Islamic Summit in Doha, or through the United Nations General Assembly, or through other important fora?
They was saying that Hitler's failure, there was many other reasons. One of the reasons was that his generals has asked him not to attack on the Russia, don't open the new war fronts. But Hitler was committed, and he was thinking that he is a superman. He is very strong, his army is very strong, his weapons are very advanced, he can fight on many fronts. Finally what happened? He opened more fronts and then he collapsed, and then he had to commit the suicide. Netanyahu is following the footprints of Hitler, and he will have the same fate, nothing else than that, the Hitlers. I believe there is also Almighty is there who will bring the justice, who will bring this world in the same justice.
Will countries in the West or within the Islamic world or elsewhere cut ties with Israel? We have Canada that is evaluating its relationship with Israel. We have the EU President Ursula von der Leyen, who announced a plan to cut support for Israel and implement sanctions. Russia also calls what happened to Qatar a gross violation. If so many countries get together, can't the opposition be strong enough to put a stop to Israel once and for all?
Already many countries has taken certain action. Some of the countries has cancelled the deal with the trade deal with Israel. They have suspended the arms delivery and sale to the Israel. Some of them have even that some of the universities has cut off the contact with the Israeli universities. I mean, gradually the whole world is isolating Israel, and the day is very soon when Israel is completely isolated and they have to surrender.
All right. Let's see how this Emergency Arab Islamic Summit, moves in that direction, and what kind of declaration comes out. And of course, there are so many things that are happening. There is this Arab Islamic Summit that is happening. There is a United Nations General Assembly session that is happening, and the fact is that there is a tipping point, as they say. And I think Israel has since a very long time crossed that tipping point, not only with the genocide within Gaza, but also now extended to other countries. I mean, it is trying to show the world it can do whatever it wants, wherever it wants, and howsoever it wants. And this is not possible within a certain rules-based mechanism.
On the contrary, there is one very scaring scenario. If we keep silent and we are just spectators and we are just helpless, then what will we set a precedence that any strong country can eliminate any other country, his whole population will occupy. This we don't want to set a precedence.
I agree with that, and I think it's high time that a precedent is set on how to stop Israel once and for all. Let's come to our second story, ladies and gentlemen, and that concerns President Zardari's visit to the People's Republic of China. Now he's there on an official visit of around 10 days' time. Bilawal Bhutto Zardari Sahab is also there with him. And of course, the main context is multifaceted, whether it be the China-Pakistan economic corridor or the relations that exist between China and Pakistan in so many different domains, whether it be to further strengthen the relationship in different domains, whether it is also in the defense realm, as recently seen through the visit of President Asif Ali Zardari. So many different facets, so many different tangents to this important and strong relationship that continues to strengthen with the passing days and months. Zamir Saab, President Zardari's visit to Shanghai, Chengdu, Xinjiang, accompanied by Bilawal Bhutto Zardari Sahab, how does this highlight Pakistan's strong political consensus on developing ties with China at both the provincial and the multilateral levels?
First of all, I want to highlight that with China we have always good relation, and China has a special regard for Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. They believe the architect of China-Pakistan friendship is Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. So they have special respect and special regard for Pakistan People's Party. So President Zardari's visit and Bilawal Bhutto's visit is the continuation of that, the family which is very much welcomed in China. That is traditional friendship. On the other hand, the China understand the geopolitical changes, what is happening so rapidly, and they need very close and reliable, trustworthy friends. And Pakistan is definitely one of the best trustworthy, close friend of China. So it is a time for China as well as for Pakistan to show solidarity, strengthen our relation, and demonstrate our real friendship and sincere friendship.
All right,
The
but that
president-
we and China both have, I think, shown that relationship in so many different forms and manifestations over the last couple of years, and I feel that it's extremely important as well to continue to highlight the importance of this relationship from a geostrategic and geopolitical point of view. I think these are very important under these current changing times that are reshaping the world. The relationship between China and Pakistan is also being reshaped into something more concrete, something more tangible, something more strong. Now also under this ambit comes the BRI, or the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor in our context. Trade, economic cooperation is quite high as far as the agenda of Pakistan-China relations are concerned. How does that, in the context of the visit of Asif Ali Zardari Sahab, reaffirm Pakistan's commitment to elevate the Pakistan-China all-weather friendship into not only a new phase of strategic collaboration but also a multifaceted collaboration?
In fact, Pakistan and China has collaboration in all dimensions, from education, from technology, from economic, from culture, from defense, all dimensions we have full-fledged cooperation, and we enjoy complete harmony. Definitely, President's visit will further strengthen. There will be new investment, new projects, and new dimension of this relationship. China is the only country who is supporting Pakistan irrationally. China is a country who was teaching Pakistan how to catch a fish. He is not giving the fish. If they give the fish, we will eat it and then finish. Again, next day we stretch our hands and ask more. China is training us how to catch a fish. China is supporting Pakistan to build the human resource. There are 32,000 Pakistani youth studying in China. They are our assets. They are well trained. They are getting proper training how to face the challenges of the future. That is the real strength. That is the real help. I mean, money is coming and going and spending and that's finished. But in the human resource, what the China is doing for Pakistan is everlasting, eternal. That is the strength. Also, China has built the infrastructure in Pakistan. China has helping in the advanced technologies. China is helping Pakistan in the defense cooperation. I mean, in many, many ways, China is really offering great support for Pakistan.
All right. Also, in a time when global blocks are being reshaped, new blocks are coming up, and instability is being fueled in the West, in the Muslim world especially. We just talked about it in the context of how Israel is bombarding not only Gaza but also Qatar, Yemen, and so many other Muslim countries in the Middle East. How does this visit of our president to China further cement Pakistan's role as China's most reliable strategic partner in South Asia?
Pakistan and China has a similar point of view on all international issues. China also support the Palestine, Pakistan also support the Palestine. On Kashmir, on Taiwan, on South China Sea, we have complete harmony. We are on the same page. In the geopolitics, Pakistan is always with the China. China has a mega initiative of Belt and Road. Pakistan is the founding member of that one. China has launched Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. Pakistan is always there and supporting China. In BRICS, we have not joined yet, but we always support China's initiative in the BRICS. I mean, wherever, whatever is happening in China, Pakistan is supporting, especially in the context of the geopolitics.
All right, Zamir Sahab, also How aligned are Islamabad and Beijing in resisting hegemony, illegal occupations, and unilateralism?
Definitely, this is unacceptable, and China and Pakistan are almost on the same page, and absolutely on the same page. We never support any aggressor. We always stand for the oppressed one and deprived one with the weaker one. And China is raising the voice for the weaker and the small countries.
All right. At the same time, we have, as I said in the very beginning, a multifaceted relationship. China-Pakistan economic corridor is just one small part of that, but there's also Chinese investment in different sectors in Pakistan. Then there's industrial relocation as part of CPEC as well, and technology transfer. How important will these factors be in the coming years for Pakistan as a country to strengthen itself and to, economically put itself amongst the strong committee of nations?
If you look in the Chinese, their perspective, because in China there is a decline of the population, or you can say the human resource, the labor intensive industry will be more longer feasible for China. So they are moving toward the high tech, and of course they are more engaged in the innovation and research and the high tech. So definitely are the traditional industry, which is the labor intensive, will require huge amount of the workforce or labor force, which they want to shift to Pakistan. And it is opportunity for the Pakistan. We should get whatever we can get
exactly
easily.
And we should further look at avenues that we have not looked into in order to further not only solidify this relationship, but also solidify our different domains wherever we can in order to come up within amongst the committee of nations. Samir Saab, thank you very much. We're a bit short of time.
One more. On the other hand, the tariff war is ongoing.
That is true.
And
that is true.
The Trump's tariff has changed the pattern of the global trade. They have changed the trading partners in the world. They have changed the trading routes. So it is opportunity for China and Pakistan to reinvent or to innovate the new trading partners, trading
and
routes,
to realign themselves with new partners as well.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Zamir Awan Saab, to have joined us.
Thank
it
you.
was a pleasure talking to you on these important topics. Next, ladies and gentlemen, comes the Indian politicizing of sports. Not new, but it has become more and more aggressive under the Narendra Modi government. And a very blatant example was seen yesterday, in fact, at during this match of the Asia Cup between India and Pakistan. The attitude that the Indian team showed was just an extension of what the Indian government is also showing as far as other countries in the region, including Pakistan, is concerned. Leena Moin Aziz, cricket commentator and expert, joins us. Leena, thank you very much to have joined us. It has been a very, very long time coming. Nevertheless, better late than never, as we say. India's refusal to engage in a traditional handshake, what does this reflect as far as its politicization, deliberate politicization of sports is concerned, and a disregard for the basic spirit of cricket?
I mean, it was disgraceful, in my opinion, because cricket is a game of gentlemen, and the handshake is a very, two captains come to the toss, the top toss happens, and they do the handshake. And it's something we don't even notice because it's so second nature to us. But when that handshake is missing and a certain amount of hostility and politicization comes into play, of course, everyone sits up and notices. And it's not in great taste. It's not in great taste to be this kind of bully where you want to take your political issues onto the field. Look, cricket and sports and politics are two separate things. Whatever kind of relationships the two countries have with each other, it should not be taken on the field. If you are playing a game of cricket, if you decided to come to that venue and you are playing a great game of cricket with each other, then it's important that both the captains and the set of players have at least a cordial relationship. Okay, no one's saying hug it out or something, but at least that handshake reflects a lot of grace and respect for the game. And whatever political things you have to discuss or whatever things have to be sorted out should be sorted out on the on a separate table across the table. But this was in very, very bad taste. It lacked grace, and it's just not done.
And of course, then closing the door and the Pakistani team waiting on the Indian team, but that doesn't happen. Anyways, the Indian attempt to use cricket, Leena, as a political tool, but how does it undermine the regional sportsmanship and also damage the credibility of global tournaments in the long run?
Absolutely, because cricket, India-Pakistan games are so important, not just for the fans, but for the two cricket boards, because a lot of money is involved. When India and Pakistan play each other, the coffers get filled on both sides. So it's very, very important for BCCI also to play Pakistan. And once again, I mean, if you're playing each other, then and they are going to be playing each other in the ICC tournaments, then either decide much beforehand that you don't want to play Pakistan, or if you want to play, then stick to what you're saying. You know what India's been doing for the past few years is that they say, okay, we'll play Pakistan, and just before the game, a few days before the game, they start going back on their words, and that kind of thing, which then becomes a very, very difficult thing for the organizers also. Like you're saying, the credibility of the game is affected. People don't then seriously view the game, so a lot of things come into play. So you would remember that a few years ago, under Nazim Sethi Saab, there was an MOU signed between the two countries. I, in fact, was at the PTV World Studios, and there was a whole thing of happiness that the countries are going to be playing each other bilaterally. But then, as usual, India backed out, and those games which were supposed to happen between I think 2016 to 2023, according to that MOU, none of those games were played, not one single game. So India,
But
we know
you know,
want they want to be the
Leena,
bully.
Leena, that is the issue. The issue is that politics is being dragged into arenas that is meant for unity, peace, and having a good game in the field. But unfortunately, countries like India bring politics into the arena as well, and not only damage the whole spirit of cricket or sports, but also lay down a precedent which will take some time to erase in the short run. Thank you very much, Leena. We're a bit short of time, but such a pleasure to talk to you after such a long time. Thank you, Leena.
Always.
Let's come to our last two stories very quickly. The international democracy is being observed across the world, including in Pakistan. The day serves as a reminder for the importance of democratic governance and encourages citizens to actively participate in their political processes. The theme this year is Democracy Under Strain, Solutions for a Changing World, which emphasizes the need for inclusivity and transparency in governance, especially in the face of global challenges. We've got many important messages that have come from our President Asif Ali Zardari Sahab, from our Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif Sahab, from our Chief Minister Punjab and Chief Minister Sindh on the occasion. Finally, this morning, Pakistan time, or last night in US time, were the Emmy Awards. The Emmy Awards celebrate the best in television and film, and this time was no exception. Many television series and films, of course, got the best of these awards. Adolescence, that was a Netflix series, got almost 6 trophies, including the youngest ever recipient of the award, Owen Cooper, who's 15 years of age. The Studio, Seth Rogen's comedy series that is being broadcast on Apple TV Plus, also got a lot of awards. So did The Pit, that beat many other favorite series like Severance and The White Lotus, and of course got the best drama series as well as best actor as well. And so did Hacks for the best comedy series in actress and supporting actress. Another night of glamour, another night of important statements as well, including that showing support with Palestine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to an end of today's newsroom, but we also come to an end of our series Newsroom. It has been a long time coming, more than 1,000 shows that we've done, but today is the end of that chapter, and from tomorrow, inshallah, we begin a new chapter, and we'll see you in another format. But Newsroom has been a very important chapter of my life, of my producer and all my team's lives, and we have tried to bring to you news that was worthy, interviews with people that were important, and discussions and dialogue that was pertinent to what was happening in Pakistan, in the region and across the world. As we begin a new chapter, we hope that you will stay with us, and your prayers and your good wishes will also be by our sides. Allah Hafiz.